Imagine you open your college schedule and discover your entire future is gone. Every class vanished, every plan destroyed, all because you couldn't keep your hands to yourself. This is the story of how I served karma cold to a bully who thought he'd get away with hurting my friend. If you've ever dreamed of serving brutal, poetic justice to someone who truly deserved it, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready. This is one of the most satisfying acts of revenge you'll ever hear. Back in the days when dial-up internet was still squealing through phone lines, I was just another broke student trying to piece together my future at the local junior college. Money was tight, so when my girlfriend Lucy suggested we move in together to split rent, it felt like winning the lottery. Lucy was everything to me back then. Smart, funny, kind, and the kind of person who always wanted the house to feel alive. So when she said she wanted to invite a friend over for game night, I didn't think twice. A few beers, some pizza, cheap board games. It was all we needed to forget homework and feel like real adults for a few hours. When her friend Sarah showed up, I did a double take. Turns out, we'd gone to high school together. We'd never been tight, but we always got along, the kind of friendly nod in the hallway type of vibe. Seeing a familiar face in that cramped little apartment felt good. It felt safe. Sarah blended in fast. One game night turned into movie nights, then dinners. Soon, it felt like Sarah was part of the furniture. Always there, always smiling. She even brought her boyfriend Jay around once or twice. Though brought might be the wrong word. Jay was off. You know when you meet someone and instantly your gut says, nope, this dude's trouble. He'd sit stiff on the couch, arms crossed, eyes darting around like everyone was out to get him. He'd mumble a half-hearted hey, and then sink into silence. The tension whenever he was around, you could slice it with a butter knife. But hey, Sarah liked him, so we forced polite smiles, poured him a drink he wouldn't touch, and hoped he'd just stay home next time. And mostly, he did. Sarah blended in fast. One game night turned into movie nights, then dinners. Soon, it felt like Sarah was part of the furniture. Always there, always smiling. She even brought her boyfriend Jay around once or twice. Though brought might be the wrong word. Jay was off. You know when you meet someone and instantly your gut says, nope, this dude's trouble. He'd sit stiff on the couch, arms crossed, eyes darting around like everyone was out to get him. He'd mumble a half-hearted hey, and then sink into silence. The tension whenever he was around, you could slice it with a butter knife. But hey, Sarah liked him, so we forced polite smiles, poured him a drink he wouldn't touch, and hoped he'd just stay home next time. And mostly, he did.
At first, I wanted to break his face, but then I remembered bruises heal. Hospital bills get paid. But what if I could take something bigger from him? Something he couldn't fix with ice or stitches. I worked in the admin building at the college. A boring student job, answering phones, filing papers, looking up student records when professors messed something up. They trusted me with all the back-end stuff. Maybe they shouldn't have. See, Jay wasn't just a jerk. He was also a foreign student, which meant if he didn't keep a full class load, he couldn't legally stay in the country. It was his Achilles heel, and I knew exactly where to strike. The last day to drop or add classes without permission was coming up. One slip, and your entire semester could vanish along with your student visa. I sat there, alone in the back office, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, staring at his file, his schedule, his FEs, his ID number all laid out in front of me like an open door. My heart pounded so loud I thought someone would hear it echoing through the halls. My head hovered over the phone. I could feel my pulse in my fingertips. Was I really about to do this? One part of my brain screamed, no, it's too far. The other part, the part that saw Sarah's swollen eyes, pressed the buttons anyway. One by one, I dropped every single one of his classes. Click, click, click. Then I got creative. I signed him up for every random class I could find that came with extra FEs. Art supply FEs, lab FEs, equipment rentals. I stacked his account with more debt than I'd make in 3 semesters of minimum wage shifts. When I hung up the phone, my hands were ice cold. I sat there for a minute, just listening to the empty hallway. No one knew. No one would ever know. I didn't dare check his records again for weeks. If anyone traced it back to me, I'd be finished. But revenge has a way of leaving breadcrumbs for you anyway. A few days later, Sarah came bouncing through our door, breathless, the first real smile I'd seen on her in weeks. She said Jay had shown up for their English class, looking smug as ever. Except there was a new kid standing awkwardly at the back of the room, no seat left for him. The teacher did a roll call, and guess whose name was missing? Jay argued, of course. He always had to be right. But a teacher's roster is low and Jay was officially no one. Sarah said she never saw him again after that day. He vanished. No goodbye. No calls, just gone. A few months later, curiosity got the best of me. I peeked at his file one last time. All the fancy classes I'd tacked on were gone, but so were the real ones. No active enrollment. No new classes. No fees paid. Nothing. Like he'd been erased. Maybe he flew home. Maybe he found another loophole. But in that tiny corner of the world, his power was gone, replaced by an empty chair in a classroom he thought he owned.
Do I feel bad? Sometimes, late at night, I wonder if I went too far. But then I see Sarah's tearful face, that bruise spreading across her back, and I remember, some people only learn when you take away the thing they think no one can touch. Mess with me, I'll shrug it off. Mess with my friends, and I'll make sure you never get the chance to do it again. The next time Jay tried to play the big man, he found himself invisible not just to the teacher, but to the entire system that kept him in the country. A push turned into a free fall. A shove turned into a plane ticket home. All because he thought he'd get away with hurting someone who trusted him. He didn't see me coming, and that's exactly how I wanted it. Sometimes the best revenge isn't loud. It's silent, invisible. Just a quiet nudge that turns a bully's life upside down while you sit back and smile. Karma has many faces sometimes. It looks like an angry friend in a college admin office. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell me in the comments what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed. And if you want more stories where karma hits hard, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next tale where bad guys always get what's coming.